There we go. So, last time on Masking of the Rose, we hung a devil, and now about 2 or 3 months have passed, and we are coming up on Valentine's Day. Or Valentine's season? I don't know, things are all kind of weird underneath. But, let's see where we go from here. Let's see if I can properly throw the voices where I put the characters. Ah! What the f-
Almost a year. It has been a great honor to be here.
Phantom? Holy shit. Almost a year has been 9 months. Thank you for the resubscription. It's never necessary, but it is always appreciated. I hope you've been enjoying the emotes. I hope you're doing well tonight. So let's see, what are... So we have the rat, the fancy rat. We want to get this quest taken care of. We still need to find Barquin so we can finish this quest. Go to Parliament with Brits. Man, the quests in this game feel like they're kind of all over the place. What are our options for heading outside? Oh, it's just the boarding house. Great, get to make a bunch of bad uncle jokes now. Congratulations. Been on a year since the fall. Whatever it may have been, we're not going back to the surface. Yeah, I think we're stuck down here, Horatia. You're likely right. What comes down doesn't go back up. Have you seen the decorations going up around the city? I can only see a little from my window. That's as close as she comes these days to speaking of the outside. So busy is she with the monster in the basement, and who can blame her? The city is decorated for a feast of lovers and romance. We'll describe what's outside. London's decorated for a celebration. Looks like a coronation or a royal wedding. There's bunting and false flowers and signs in the shop windows. They're calling it the Feast of the Exceptional Rose. The fungal rose, more like. Wow, what do you got against mushrooms, alright? I have a very fancy and dapper mushroom hat, ma'am. Okay, it is the latest in fashion. Alright, do you see the varietals on here? 4, 5 different kinds of mushrooms. Alright, we are styling down these streets. But I want the rat. Ooh. Okay, so we can attend the feast. Acquire a mask. Oh, I love masquerades. We're getting a mask, all right. Woo-wee! The Feast of the Rose is upon us, and there are certain sartorial requirements. Get your mask here, a gift from the Exceptional Rose. Or a choice of them, in fact. And if you've scored a settle with anyone, I can help you with that too. For a small consideration. Something rotten to an individual you don't fancy. I'll take the smelliest item you have. I'll have it wrapped in black paper. I can do you a posy of dead birds to go with it if you like. All the heads pointing up, beaks open. Little tongues poking blackly at the sky. Just a penny more? Oh, Ivy, you know me so well. Why not? Let's do this right. When I mean to insult a person, I am going to insult them all right. That's the spirit. She sets about ornamenting the gift. The heads of the birds are desiccated, their eyes sunken. There's still a bit few bites of flesh on them. Not that I would ever partake, but I know rats that would. Better, but it could smell a bit more pungent, eh? What do you think? I could sprinkle it with a perfume of old fish. Few pennies for that. Ah! The fish was good money before it rotted. Dang it, Chimera! What are you doing? You broke the DVD spin! Alright, I'll hydrate. I hope you're doing well. Welcome on by. Also, man, it's a good thing I had that extra, all that extra money if we're gonna be paying for all this stuff. Hopefully a mask itself is not gonna be expensive. Ivy reaches for a cut glass bottle of repellent aspect. The fume arising from it makes my nose twitch. Ah, there we are. She surveys her work with very transitory satisfaction. You know what else it needs? I don't, but please tell me. Teeth. Teeth? A lovely little brocade, velvet bag of freshly pulled incisors. So rich, so repugnant. Shows a real investment in your victim. You don't want to know what I've had to do collecting these. Shall we say 6 pence? I can't afford that. Keep your secrets, Ivy. No, you don't want to know? Or no, you don't want the teeth? No, no knowledge, no teeth. I don't have a 6 pence. Shame. Now, where were you thinking to send it? Ooh, okay, we can send it to the papers. We can send it to Mr. Pages. We can send it to Phoebe. Interesting, these are our only choices. I'm wondering if Phoebe, because of related to the murder trial, Pages... Oh, I wonder if it's because I feel like there were times I could indicate like a dislike of a person. And I know I did that to I believe I did that to Mr. Pages. Maybe I did that to Phoebe as well. We're gonna send it to Mr. Pages. I'm tempted to send it to the paper, but I feel like Pages we might run into, and that would be funny. I have a score to settle. Now there's a risk and no mistake. I'll leave out the card that says where the gift was bought if you don't mind. I stay out of the gaze of the masters, and that's how I prefer it. Don't want Mr. Vales coming around here to question the tariffs on my goods. Glad to do these little services. What we're for, isn't it? And if, after I've made the exchange, she notes it down in a small notebook, well, there's probably no harm in that. Now, you'll be needing something to wear. What's the severe mask? Ooh. A mask for the Feast of the Rose, suitable for meeting friends, knitting matches, and pursuing deeper connections. Does that suit you then? Let me try the other one. Hard to say without trying the other. Ah, if you like. You're a demanding one, but I did bring both for a reason. Ooh, I like the delicate one more. It's kind of got like these little swooshy little bits on it. And I like the little lines around the eyes. That's more my style of mask. The exceptional rose? It grows from the winter ground. There's a fierce little face in the center of it, though. What about the festival? A time for love, seduction, and promises. They say the power at the back of it is Mr. Wines. Does Mr. Wines also have a ministry? That's not entirely his style. Wear the mask for the feast and look for the person you most desire in your future. Friend, lover, spouse to be. Perhaps they'll be looking for you in turn. Or go alone and enjoy the crowd. There's something in that too. Now go on, get sugar. All right, if we're going to this, we've gotta look our best. All right, chat. Oh yeah. Oh, they'll never know it's me. Wait, hold on. What about my lapel? Well, the corsage is fine. All right. Rachel is who we're looking for. Oh, perfect timing. The chaos is finally washed off. Now we can look great. You know, I gotta say, I'm no fashionista, but it's very difficult to have an outfit that matches your colors when you're constantly shifting hues and saturations and vibrancies all over the place. You know, it's just not a workable thing. I mean, maybe you could lean into it, you know, it gives a very riotous outfit, but this is a very serious event. We need to look our best here. Hey, Green Paladin. Schneck. Well, it's green. It's green. It's you. Welcome on by. We're gonna be looking for Rachel. And I need to not accidentally slip into the voice, like the southerny voice I'm using for Ivy. Because I keep sort of wanting to go that way for Rachel. I need more voices. Damn it, Dreki. You gotta practice, boy. Oh, thank you for your head pats. I make my way through London, walking fast, faces past. Sometimes I still have to rely on memorized pathways, on strange rituals. There is a barricade between Vale Garden and the Stolen River, unless one pays in coin or word. But many of the difficult, old streets lie still now. I'm full of hope. As I spin all across these winding paths, like the serpent I am and the serpent they are alike. All of London is out, walking along the Thames, taking part in the feast. Some of the feastgoers are here for the candies and the Valentine bats. Others are using the opportunity of masked darkness, whispering. Oh, did y'all see something? There's all sorts of strange critters down here underneath. What do the masters truly intend, and what's to be done about it? Of course he has a plague doctor mask! Alright, man, now I'm curious what other people's masks are gonna be. Don't want to believe anything bad about you. But you did. I followed the course of the law. It is an agreement we all enter. I did not do anything wrong, and you knew it! I thought I knew. The law thought otherwise. I've set loyalty to one person above all other considerations before. And you know the end that came to. Nah, man. Nah, man. Just cause it's law, don't make it right, buddy. One's friends are worth more than the law. The compact between people is the only way society can persist. You ignore it or defy it, and you weaken the thing that binds us all together. Friendship has a claim on me. I might understand the reasons. But if the places had been changed, I'd have done more for you. Man, that cello came in strong there. Damn. I'd not have locked you up and shrugged my shoulders. You've always been one to pull at the bars that cage you. You'll forgive me for not calling you my friend after that. Yeah, that'll do that. That's certainly how you end friendships. Throwing people in jail. Especially because it was not a good place. As if there are any good... I mean... there are better places that focus more on rehabilitation. And the punishment is that you are separated from society. You don't get further indignities heaped upon you. I shouldn't feel any grief. I made my choice long since and reconciled myself to the outcome it might have. Accepted in the possibility that Archie would die unjustly through the exercise of law. Wow, okay, dude. This is a less terrible consequence than that would have been. All the same, I hoped for something else. Well, Mask of the Rose party off to a great start. We have one ruined friendship. I don't see Rachel at first. I do see other faces in the crowd, though. Others I could stop and speak with before I go on, if I choose. Ooh, let's see what Barkwin's here with. Oh, she's not wearing a mask. Okay. I suppose I should not be surprised to find you here. You've always been one for novelty. After all, you discovered me and... do not wish to dwell on the past. Look well. She pauses, as though unsure of what to say next. And just like... yeah, they suspected him, but they didn't really have, like, any... I don't know. The way the whole situation is constructed and plays out, it really feels like you kind of get to decide the narrative of what happened, which is very interesting from a visual novel perspective, because we kind of constructed a story of, like, who the culprit was and how they did it. And I think depending on, like, who you accuse and how you say they did things, you could have different events play out. And I don't think it would be too hard for them to have written things. It's quite nice. I'm kind of curious to maybe try and explore it later once I complete the game to see if I just happen to guess the correct answer or if they actually made it flexible and you could be all possible answers. You've come up in the world. Literally. I mean, the fourth city was buried beneath London. Congratulations. That's a long climb. I assume you mean... No, I was just talking literally, Barkwin. It's not a terrible occupation. The customers, appalling. Being managed, disgusting imposition. But promise has its own satisfaction. I shall have a supper party. I may even invite you. I do not hold you entirely responsible for my former companion's foolishness. How is he? Did Pages give in to his foolish desire? Or did his sense at last win the day? I assume it did not. Is he not squelched upon my doorstep? He will be an emissary for the rubbery men. I doubt he thanked you for it. But it is for the best. Proceed softly and to sublimate one's desires. And if he ever wishes a place here, well, perhaps that bridge can still be mended. I cannot pretend I am happy with our paths crossed. But it is no use complaining about what cannot be changed. And I must accept my own share of the blame for what occurred. I hope we see each other again. And more importantly, you will continue to patronize my place of business. Now be away with you. There are crowds here I could you touting my business off to? Off! Well, we gotta talk to Bachaclin then. Bachaclin waves his tentacles and emits a flangent honk. He is pleased to see me. Further burbles ensue, a great string. They signify the many setbacks his shop has endured recently. Smashed windows, lack of custom, unscrupulous workmen. Yet despite this, the challenge seems to be taken with equanimity, even enjoyment. He makes a languid sequence of warbles. It indicates he is grateful for my assistance. Further burbles ensued, a great gurgle of them. They seem to signify that other rubbery men have been emerging from the warrens, that he is securing a place for them in London. An anguished honk follows. It is a difficult process. There have been obstacles. A final low whistle. He reluctantly acknowledges that I might have been right. Well, good luck, rubbery man. I hope things improve soon. A determined warble follows, but Bachaclin has no doubt that they will. After all, he is in charge. He, and he alone. A series of halting honks introduces a difficult topic. Barquin, and what has become of her? He wonders, is there anything he ought to know? Further hasty warbles, so he knows where he ought not to go, of course. Yeah, Barquin, I gotta... where is she? I just need to make sure I don't run into her, you know. We're gonna lie. Oh, they work at a shop on the wrong side of the river. He makes a concerned warble. A further trilling hoot. London is a strange place, and the sphere of his activities will undoubtedly eclipse hers. When he is finished, she will not be permitted to gain access to him, even if she does find him. A satisfied honk, a relaxation of tentacles. He seems pleased that his activities can go undisturbed and uninterfered with. A final, dismissive warble. He thanks you for your example and your lessons. He intends to rely on no one again but himself. A last, simple, but unmistakable honk. It is farewell. Ooh. I like how this one follows the cheekbones down and sort of like frames around the mouth. Ooh. It kind of looks like overlapping scales. She could have kind of a bit of a draconic or a reptilian mask. Big fan, big fan. Kudos to you, Ivy. Well, well, what do you think of this? Admire the feast. It's impressive. The fireworks are an inventive touch. It can be improved. It will be improved. There's a mite too much ministry in this feast for my taste. But the heart of it, I like. There's an invitation in it. Stroll about the city and partake of everything most delicious. The fair, the foul, and what's betwixt the two. Alright, let's go find Rachel. Rachel! Ooh. A little asymmetric mask. A little bit simpler than I would have expected from her since she's an author. I expected a bit more pizzazz, a bit flashier, but I do like the fancy eye here. I just wish there may have been like an asymmetrical, like, since this one goes up, if maybe this eye had one that had kind of a downward sort of thing, I think that might have been kind of cool. Before I speak with Rachel again, okay, decide on my relationship. I can write now. Don't need Milton talking me through a difficult character. What I do now is more difficult than it was on the surface. But it's better work too. What's changed from writing on the surface? What's different down here? You know, other than, you know, no fog, no sunlight, all the strange creatures, the talking rats, the speaking bats, the ministers, the rubbery men, the mushroom attire. But other than all of that, what's different? Then, the only puzzles were what group a character wanted to be a part of, which one they truly belonged to. The fall has drawn my attention to other considerations. I didn't have that before, and know how to ask the right questions. You want to take a lady who writes, probably more and more scandalous stories, and not for the sake of the scandal either. Do you think you could tolerate it? I don't mind what you write. Get that bread, girl. I'm not so easily frightened off. This isn't a time to claim courage you don't have. I mean it. People might still try to guess who I'm writing about. I still have that reputation. It might be uncomfortable. I'll cultivate an air of mystery just for you. Wrap myself in impenetrable silences. I have a rat for a hat, ma'am. Alright? I can do inscrutable man of mystery. I don't even need to say the fancy things. I let the rat say them for me. That's called delegation. I'm glad. From there, the conversation turns to the future, to the things we might imagine together. It's a long evening of walking along the Strolin River. And speaking of what might come. For a second, because it focused on that, I thought that firework was gonna like knock loose something from the ceiling and cause an event. You see, we're fading to black on the fireworks after confessing our love because it's a metaphor. Because we're gonna bang. The introduction of the rubbery men to London's fractured nerves is a mixed success. Their customs, their forms of visages repel many. It is Bachachlin who finds a way, in defiance of the masters. He now calls himself an entrepreneur, and he deals with London in a language it understands. Commerce. He models his enterprise upon that of the masters. His rise to prominence slowly guides the rubberies more fully into London, but it seems so far they will remain a people apart. Of Barquin, I see little and less, and then one day, nothing at all. But Jacqueline knows where she has gone. He does not, or will not, say. The tale of the devil's hanging is told in London for many years, in tones of varying horror and awe. Becomes a popular subject of pantomimes. The stage performance is done with a puppet stuffed with bees and a firework on stage. What? No! I'm not gonna see that live! I'll watch a recording of that shit. I'm not gonna go see a performance with live bees! How do they stuff it in there? Oh, those bees would be so mad. No thank you. Those who saw the hanging themselves have more varied recollections. Some insist there were rubbery men in the crowd, and that the devil's remains were carried away by tentacled pallbearers. Frosh! Good throw. You know, I was spinning her all around, and you still managed to hit me with a Wawa bottle. Not the bees! If you like animals, especially frogs, you should check out Froge. They do a lot of art. They do a lot of singing. It is a comfy, cozy time over in Froge's space. It is always delightful when I can catch one of your streams, and I hope you've been doing well, Froge. What the heck? Get love, nerd. Get Rectoronied. I would do a clip shout out, but it's kind of broken right now. So unfortunately, y'all will just have to go to Froge's stream and see him yourselves. I can't give you a preview of how awesome it is. Others, that the ground was covered in an amber residue, or that a silver tree grew from the devil's blood. They do not see Milton again, but they hear rumors of a volcanic birth far out in the sea. That salt water boiled from the depths, and the infant devil burned on the water. Stories I cannot interpret or substantiate. As for the rubbery men, they are seen more and more openly in London streets. They are not always well received, their language is not understood, their etiquette is strange. But Bachachlin is a swift student, and what he learns, his fellows also learn in time. They learn to buy and sell, to dress respectably, to trade in London's ways, and negotiate with her masters. In a decade, their features have become more human and their eyes more knowing. Ooh. Ascension on the Chain. The sigil may be interpreted as encountering the same circumstances as an old regret and choosing otherwise. So I don't know, some of y'all may not have been around when I've talked about the Fallen London setting, or maybe weren't here earlier in the year when I played Sunless Skies. So Ascension on the Chain is actually a pretty deep reference into a lot of the overarching lore of the Fallen London setting. And it has very interesting implications because one of the major tenets of the Chain of Being, which is what the chain is referencing, is that you can't move up and down it. Where you are in the chain is where you are. Intriguing. Very intriguing. I won't speak more on it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who may be interested in playing any of the games set in Fallen London. I would say Sunless Skies, I think, deals very specifically with a lot of the chain stuff. But I haven't done that plotline yet, so I can't really speak with surety on it. In a decade, oh, I already read that. Oh, did we only get like an epilogue for the Rubbery Men? All the possible beginnings of the story are open to you now. Start again. You may find very different ending to record on the flank of the bazaar. All right, I was right. That was basically the end of the game. It felt like the Mask of the Rose was going to be a pivot point into like another act, but I was wrong. Still, last time we were streaming, I had already gone like 6 hours, and I had to stop.
Hello, this is Dreki of the post-production. Thank you for watching or listening to this series, whether it was background noise while you worked, experiencing a game vicariously, or you just like my thoughts and reactions. Feel free to leave a question, comment, or suggestion of a similar game if I haven't played it. I stream on Twitch as Dreki Ormer if you wish to see things live and unedited. Regardless, have a great rest of your time zone, and I appreciate the time we shared. Bye!